touch it, but it's actually a couple hours drive southeast of downtown Seattle, Washington, which is where we greet you today. Safeco Field, Indians Mariners all set to continue the series, which the Mariners won the opener 2-1 on opening day. Kind of weird to play a game, all the build-up, and then you sit and wait yesterday all day long. But we're ready to go again here today, and we'll go downstairs right now to our man, Andre Knott.
Thank you very much, Matt. For James Paxton, who's on the mound for the Mariners, maybe people on the East Coast haven't heard about him or seen him a lot, but he can be a dominant pitcher. And when you look at his numbers, very reminiscent of Cookie Carrasco, a guy that hasn't got up to 200 innings yet in his career, has had some injuries that nag him. But when I talk to the hitters of the Indians, the thing that they're concerned about, he can elevate the fastball. He's got a good downhill battle when it comes down. He can cut it. He'll throw a curveball. And Tito says it reminds him a little bit of Mark Mulder when Mark Mulder really had it going. The Indians will have their hands tied with Paxton today.
Arch, give us the tail of the tape on Mr. Paxton.
Well, he is our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher for today. And, you know, 24 starts he made last year, and that's the most he's ever made. He has to stay healthy if they're going to be successful. You know, he's 29 years old, 6'4", so he'll give you all arms and legs, and he can get it up there. He averaged over 95.5 miles per hour last year. So the big man, if he gets ahead of you, he has the weapons to put you away. You just have to hope he makes a few mistakes and you can get a few hits.
Yeah, the only really chink in his armor is the fact that he missed almost a month of the season last year. Kind of got tired, a little pec strain.
Yeah, twice on the DL.
Didn't win a game after that when he came off the DL, and he was on a roll. He had won 7 consecutive starts at one point. Here's Terry Francona's starting lineup today, brought to you by Progressive. Francisco Lindor will lead it off. Jason Kipnis bats second. Jose Ramirez third. Here's where things change today. Edwin Encarnacion goes into the cleanup spot. Rajay Davis is batting fifth. Why, you ask? 5 for 11 in his career against this left-hander James Paxton. Yonder Alonso drops down to the 6th spot. Then it's Brandon Geyer getting the start in left field. Yan Gomes and Lonnie Chisenhall.
Man, the defense behind Paxton today is the same as it was opening day. Same lineup they have out there. Each girl will be in left field. Gordon in center, Haniger over and right. On the infield, Seager and Segura are on the left side. It'll be Cano and Healy on the right side with Margema behind the plate.
Here comes Lindor, ready to get us underway here today. Made a dynamite defensive play in the opener that kept the Indians in the game. If he doesn't make that play, Seattle scores another run and might have opened the game up and kind of run away with it. But offensively, he and the Indians were really kept in check. We'll see if they can bounce back here today. We're underway as James Paxton delivers low, ball 1. It seemed, Rick, that the Indians were just, maybe it was opening day, a little too much adrenaline, but they were out front of Felix Hernandez. They didn't let the pitch come to them. They were trying to go out and make things happen.
Well, you credit Hernandez for spinning the baseball. He never gave in. He stayed on the outside corners and he kept them off balance. He did a great job.
Lindor with a line drive caught at third by Seager.
Well, hit right on the nose by Lindor, but right into the tracks of Seager, having a range to his right or to the line. And he ends up making the backhanded stab. If he doesn't get there, that's extra bases. So a good swing by Lindor, but it goes as an out.
Now Jason Kipnis. Low, ball 1. Kipnis, a single in 3 trips to the plate on opening day. Also had a walk.
Paxton, since making his debut back in 2016, June 1st, it was in San Diego, he's only allowed 18 home runs. And that's the fewest after, with at least 250 innings. So you're going to have to put a few hits together against him unless he makes a mistake and you run into one. He doesn't give up many.
See this left-handed starter, 95, 96 miles an hour with his fastball. Kipnis did well to get a piece there. That went up to 98.
Yeah, when he gets it rolling, Matt, he had a string of 7 straight wins last year. He was 6-0 in July. He can get it rolling, and he can be awfully tough.
He almost single-handedly kept them in the wild card hunt last year with the way he pitched. So effective. They just felt like, hey, we're going to win every time this guy takes the mound.
Well, yes, they wanted to do that, but he's going to have to stay on that mound for them to be successful.
And that's the problem. The 1-2 pitch. Kipnis drives one deep right center field. That's in the alley, and it is going to one-hop the wall. He'll go into second base with a one-out double. Terrific at bat by Jason Kipnis. Got down on the count, but he able to fight off some pitches and find one to his liking.
Well, that's what you do. You foul off a couple of tough pitches, and then he makes a mistake here, and Jason took advantage of it. Right down the middle, and he just plugged a gap in right center field. For Kip, that'll be his first extra base hit of the year. His second hit. He was on base twice in game one. He walked, he had a single. And now the Indians, with a man in scoring position, are going to try and take an early lead.
So 2 at bats for the Indians, and both line drive type hits. Lindor robbed by Seager at third. Now Kipnis with a double, and here is Jose Ramirez. And he looks at ball one.
You know, the Indians last year against left-handed starters, they were 36-24 in the 60 games that they faced southpaws.
Ramirez lifts one high in the air. Foul ground playable for Ryan Healy. And the first baseman makes the catch, 2 down. Today's storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Both of these starting pitchers today can pile up the punch-outs. You see both average better than 10 per 9 innings. The Indians were the first team in baseball history to average better than 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. And on opening day, Corey Kluber, in the complete game effort, had 8 strikeouts and 8 innings of work. Edwin Encarnacion. And it's outside for ball one. Two balls, no strikes.
So far, he's yet to throw a breaking ball for a strike.
Missed again, 3-0.
Like Paxton being careful. With first base open, you have Davis on deck, but you gave the numbers. And Rajai's had some, he's had some success against Paxton, but he doesn't want the game to get out of control early, or at least give up a dinger. Not giving in to him.
And it didn't look like Edwin was taking all the way, but he just didn't like the location of that pitch. It was away, but it did catch the corner. 3-1. Two down, Kipnis in scoring position, and Paxton taking a lot of time here with Encarnacion. The string that time, and it's a full count.
Well, he wasn't going to give in. He threw that breaking ball, and it's the first one he's thrown for a strike, so it's a good pitch. Edwin wasn't going to go after it. He was looking for that fastball again.
You throw it 3-1, do you throw it 3-2? No, he went for the fastball, trying to catch the outside corner, but it's off the plate. And a 2-out walk continues the inning now for Rajai Davis.
Very patient at bat and a very good take here by Edwin. That was just a little bit off the plate, which it was. He spit on it, and I think he realized in the first 3 pitches that Paxton was going to make him swing at his pitch, and you can see that was definitely on the chalk of the left-handed batter's box.
So here is Rajai Davis, 5 for 11 in his career against Paxton, including a home run. And it's low, ball 1. Rajai was a late sign by the Indians. Came to terms on a deal February 18th. That was after the club had already reported for action in Goodyear. But he showed enough in spring training for the Indians to realize he still could help them. So it was not really an upset or a big surprise that he made the club. 1-0 pitch. Good eye. 2-0. Really making Paxton work.
Yeah.
And this is what they were unable to do against King Felix in the opener, because he had such good command of his secondary pitches, even though he didn't have much of a spring training. I guess he kind of proved who needs a spring training, right?
Well, sometimes with a bit, you know, a taller guy like Paxton, he's struggling right now with his mechanics to try and get a feel for it. He's not missing by a lot.
20th pitch of the inning. Good cut, but it's fouled back. 2-1.
Yeah, these are the situations you want to get him into. You know, good hitters counts, and then you can lock in, as Davis did right there on the fastball. He just fouled it off. Kipnis did a good job of getting him out of the stretch. He fouled off a couple of 2-strike pitches, and then he made a mistake, and he took advantage of it. But it'd be nice to see him jump on the board early.
And the 2-1. Good eye, lays off a tough pitch, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Yonder Alonso waits on deck.
Again, he will regroup here, get in the batter's box, and I'm sure Davis looking for the fastball.
Another good pitch to hit, but he fouls it right back, and you can see Rajai saying, "Oh man, just missing these pitches."
I know, but when you're facing a 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, pretty tough to center on it all the time in that first at bat. Even though he's struggling to throw strikes, it's tough to square up a ball going 95.
They call him the Big Maple. He hails from British Columbia, just about 2 hours north of Seattle. And this Canadian native in some hot water early. Runners go. The payoff pitch hit in the air to right, slicing foul, and that will go out of play. The King has his court. And as you can see, Paxton has his Maple Grove. Jason Kipnis at second base, Edwin Encarnacion at first. They move on the 3-2, and Rajai fouls this one off once again. Man, he is really grinding out this at bat.
Yes, he is.
And the
He's
Indians
doing
have
a
made
nice
Paxton
job
work,
because he's got 24 pitches already in that first inning. So a good job of making him work to get through it. And right now he's just rearing back and throwing fastballs.
Outfield shortened up a little bit over toward right. And the 3-2, runners go. Again, it's fouled off to the right. Rajai Davis, after watching Edwin Encarnacion work the count full and then draw a walk, about to see the 9th pitch of this at bat. Runners go. It's low and inside, and it's ball 4. The bases are loaded on the second consecutive walk by Paxton.
Well, he figured, I got to try something else, man. He's fouling off my fastballs. It was inside, outside. He was moving it around, but he tried to drop a slider. I like the pitch selection. It's just that Davis didn't swing. He checked his swing, another good at bat to take. And now you have the bases loaded, and you'll bring up the left hand.
Now that'll be Yonder Alonso. For 4 in the opener. He's only had 4 career at bats against Paxton. 0 for 4 against this left-hander, and he takes low, ball 1. So he's been watching the other hitters.
Right now, if I'm a hitter, I take the spinner. You know, I take the breaking ball and just look for his fastball until he proves it. And if he can throw that for a strike, there's nothing really you can do about it. But
not a true shift, but Robinson Cano pulled around and is in the outfield grass in right field. Yonder Alonso jumps on a pitch. It's deep to right. A grand slam for Yonder. The Indians jump Paxton for 4 in the first.
How about that? He sat on number 1. He got it, and he did not miss it. So he comes back to haunt his former team in the first inning with a grand slam. And the Indians on the board early.
Rick, this is an offense that looks completely different here this afternoon than they did 2 days ago. Just really making Paxton work.
Well, it comes down to where they can eliminate pitches. They're looking for one, and took advantage.
Brandon Guyer puts the ball in play, but Yonder Alonso puts one in the cheap seats here in the first. His first home run as a Cleveland Indian gives the Tribe a 4-0 lead.
And turn it over to Carlos Carrasco, who's our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher. Carrasco coming off an 18-win season, and what a way to start. He can go out and face this lineup with 4 runs on the board. He can relax, get loose, and feel free.
For Scott Service and the Mariners, D. Gordon, Gene Segura, Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, who homered in the opener, then Kyle Seager, Mitch Haniger, Ryan Healy, Mike Margema, and Ichiro batting ninth. It is the exact same lineup they ran out there on opening day, and it's brought to you by Humana. D. Gordon looks at a ball outside. 1 for 3 with a walk in the opener. Slaps it foul the other way.
Carlos has made 3 starts in this ballpark in his career. He's 2-1 and a 295 earned run average. He was 1-1 against Seattle last year. He won here, and he lost in Cleveland.
Gordon checks. It's a little bit high. And on the grass at third base is Jose Ramirez. And you can see Ramirez, even with 2 strikes, he's still staying fairly close to the cut of the grass.
Yeah, you have to make him hit it by you. And, you know, that's what he tries to do. He tries to slap it that way. So when you fall back, even with 2 strikes, you don't drop back too much because he can run.
Bounced it in there. Full count. Carrasco with the payoff pitch. And Gordon drives one to left. Back goes Geyer. Makes the catch for out number 1.
Take a look at the Indians defense, brought to you by Ram. Geyer made that play. He is in left field this afternoon. Davis is in center, Chisenhall over and right. On the infield, it'll be Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Alonso at first, and Gomes doing the catching.
And that will bring up Gene Segura.
And that's what you don't mind when you're facing a guy like Gordon. That's his best bolt to left field. So if he hits it in the air, it's almost like he's doing you a favor.
Segura takes a called strike. And for Geyer, Rick, it would appear that that's the toughest spot in the outfield today in a day game with the sun.
It looks like it, doesn't it, with that dome or with the roof open?
But he played that fine. Swung on and missed. He got him to chase that slide.
Well, the good thing, though, the fans on the right field line here, they're in the shade, so it's easy to pick up. It's not like they're in the sunshine and you're trying to pick up a baseball out of the bright shirts.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad background for him.
The 0-2 now. And Segura down on 3 pitches. Carrasco quickly disposing of the number 2 hitter.
Well, a nice little
here.
Oh yeah, this is his bread and butter. That right-hander, that slider. I mean, that's his pitch that he can just really, it's a wipeout slider, could put you away. No, he gets his first strikeout and 2 up and 2 down.
Man, up comes Robinson Cano. Remember, it was with 2 outs, nobody on base when Seattle struck in the opener. It was this guy with a hit, and then Nelson Cruz followed with the 2-run homer, and that was all Seattle scored on opening day, but it was enough to win.
Yeah. Go to show you, you know, one mistake in the first inning could cost you a ball game sometimes. That's why you have to go out there and be ready to go right from the start.
It would seem rare in this day and age that a 2 spot in the first would stand up. But a lot of weird things occurred on opening day this year. For one thing, everybody was playing except a couple of teams that got rained out. That hadn't happened.
Yeah, they were scheduled to play.
Almost 50 years.
Yeah. 68. But Kluber was dynamite once again. Complete game.
Yeah.
That was the first complete game for the Indians since 2005 and Jake Westbrook, and they lost that game 1-0 if you remember.
Swung on and missed. Cano down hacking, and Cookie Carrasco sharp here in the first inning. He fans a pair, and it's 4-0 Cleveland after 1.
icons and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more.
Yan Gomes leading off the second inning. Swings and misses at the first offering from James Paxton. Gomes 1 for 3 on Thursday. He had an RBI, also drew a walk. Cuts and misses, 0-2. Gomes, Lonnie Chisenhall, and then back to the top of the order for Cleveland here in the second.
Well, he gave up 2 hits in that first inning, both to left-handed hitters, the double by Kipnis and the grand slam by Alonso.
And really, you don't fault him for being wild. Just 2 really good at bats by Encarnacion and Rajai Davis to draw the walk.
You're right. They really made him work.
They're 2-2.
You know, last year Paxton, he had an ERA of 1.49 during day games in 6 starts, so he was awfully tough to hit. But boy, they really made him work the first inning.
Gomes fouling it out of play. Really nice crowd here on this Saturday afternoon. Popped up foul ground. Let's see if it's playable. Over goes Healy to the seats. No, he can't get there. A lot of the local folks said there wouldn't be many people here today after the sellout crowd on opening day, but this is a really good turnout for an afternoon affair. Game time temperature was right around 50 degrees. 51 officially. Gomes fouls it back.
Boy, and they're doing a nice job of fouling off some pitches as well. You know, here's Gomes. He has already a 7-pitch at bat. He's going to number 8. Davis had a 9-pitch. Encarnacion had a lot of pitches.
Swung out and missed, and that time he got him with a breaking ball. His first strikeout. Our player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Paxton hails from Ladner, British Columbia. It's a couple hours north of Seattle. 4th round pick out of Kentucky. That came with some controversy when he went to Toronto, because he was represented by Scott Boras, and at the time he had had contact with Boras prior to the draft, and Kentucky ruled him ineligible. He wasn't allowed to play his senior year. Lonnie Chisenhall. Foul out of play. The Maple Grove, which is the section of fans, they actually brought in a maple tree, Arch, and they've got a maple tree out there.
Well, he's missing one branch after that first inning, but that's a big one.
The 0-2. Down low.
Well, yeah, growing up just a couple hours away from in British Columbia, that's what a great place for him to pitch, right near home.
Swung and fouled by Chisenhall. Well, it's kind of hard maybe to hear at home, but if you listen closely, right before he gets ready to deliver the pitch, you can hear the fans in his little fan club down there chanting, "Hey, hey," the you know, Canadian.
Yes.
There he gets Chisenhall. Back-to-back Ks. And there are 2 down here in the second. The first time they brought that little deal out, he thought that was pretty cool.
Yes, he'd make him feel right at home.
Exactly.
Well, he climbs the ladder, goes upstairs above the belt for a high fastball strikeout after he fouled off the breaking ball. So back-to-back strikeouts now for Paxton.
Well, here's Lindor, who roped the ball to third his first time up. It looked like it was headed to the left field corner, but Kyle Seager took about 2 steps and made a nice lunging play to take the hit away, and now he's going to try to bunt his way on. Up the line, Marjama can't get there. And Lindor will hold at first with a 2-out bunt single.
Boy, that thing just stayed right on the grass, hugging that line all the way. Marjama did a really nice job to try and get it and flip it. And I don't even think that if he catches the ball, he would have been out, because he was able to get there. He just couldn't get enough on it, and it was a little wide. So a 2-out bunt single. Now we'll see.
You expect him to run here, right?
Well, yeah, if you bunt with 2 outs, why wouldn't you?
Not sure how easy it is to run on Paxton.
Well, that's what we'll get. We'll get a look and see his move and see what happens. But you keep it going. You keep the pressure on. You know, he's a big guy, but it looks like he doesn't have a high leg kick when you get a runner on first base.
Jason Kipton is good at bat his first time up, and he doubled to right center field.
Yeah, he's pretty quick to home plate right there, so he's going to be a tough guy to run on.
Jason again with a good eye, and he's in the catbird seat here, 2-0.
You know, that's the one thing that the major league pitchers do now. They do a really nice job on controlling the running game. You know, giving that catcher an opportunity, shortening their stride to home plate, and it makes a difference. That time he came set. I think the pitch before he must have rushed a little bit, but that time it was a little bit slower to get that ball to home plate to where he could concentrate and throw his strike.
Jason pops one to left. Ichiro over near the line, makes the catch into foul territory and hangs on. No runs, a hit, a man left, middle of the second, 4-0 Cleveland. And watch the ball games with the roof open. It's a totally different feel when the lid is open. Sunshine pouring in today.
Yeah, it does make a difference. Even though the roof closes, it still has an open atmosphere for a closed venue.
But when that thing is closed, and it probably will be tomorrow because they're calling for rain tomorrow, but it's gunmetal gray and it gets very dark inside here. It just has a totally different vibe. 0-1 pitch. Just missed upstairs. Nelson Cruz a year ago, 39 homers. and 119 driven in. Low. 2 balls and a strike. Good pitch, and it evens the count. It was 94, and it was away, not a pitch that Cruz really could do much with.
He disagrees with that call. He felt it was away. He was shaking his head, having his say in the batter's box after Alfonso Marquez called that one a strike.
The 2-2. That one backed up on him. Big hop for Lindor, takes his time, and easily retires Cruz for out number 1. Take a look back at the bunt by Francisco Lindor, thanks to StatCast, and you can see how quickly he got out of the box on this play.
Yeah, and he beat it. It hugged the line.
Hit a top speed of almost 20 miles an hour.
Right.
You've got a riding lawnmower that can achieve those kind of speeds, don't you?
Yeah, but your grass isn't cut. You're flying above it.
Here's Kyle Seager. This guy normally is a thorn in the Indians' side. He's a career .329 hitter against the Indians with 20 doubles, 5 homers, 16 driven in, and he scored 20 runs. You see the Indians shifting for Seager. Kipnis out there in shallow right. He was going to try to take advantage of that, bunt for a single.
And you know what he's trying to do? Just get something started, you know, to get somebody on base. If they were going to give it to him, now Ramirez stays in about in the baseline between short and third, but he's still playing shortstop. So if Seager even pushed one down that line, it'd be an automatic base hit.
Trying to bunt again. And I guess he pulled it back. I thought he offered at it, but no, says Alfonso Marquez. Grounds it right into the shift. Kipnis will throw him out. 2 down.
Well, that's what happens. You're going to take the base hit, and then you get the 2-1 count in your favor, and you just maybe get a little over aggressive and roll over on the ball. So that's where the defense is playing. A lot of times when you hit the ball the hardest, you're going to hit it right into the strength of the defense.
And that's where
he rolled over on that one.
And that's where all of those metrics come into play, because basically the defense has shifted there. Because as they've gone back and analyzed the data, when he hits a ball on the ground,
right, you're hitting it
that's
right
where you want to be positioned. If he hits a line drive, chances are it's going to be hit no matter how you're playing defensively. I don't know how you feel, if you have personal strong feelings one way or the other. I don't have a problem with the shift. I really don't.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, that's the strength.
I've heard people say we should ban the shifts.
No, you can't do that. You know what? As a hitter, make an adjustment and go the other way. If you're continuing to hit into the shift, go ahead, man, and go the other way. Force the hitters to do it. They can hit the ball the other way if they wanted to, except it's going to be a single. Everybody wants to try and hit home runs. Nothing wrong with the shift. I think it's great.
That's drilled deep to left and gone. Mitch Haniger hits Seattle on the board with a 2-out home run, his first of the year. He hit 16 of them a season ago.
Well, he had 3 hits off Corey Kluber on opening night, and he catches a hanging slider from Carrasco and deposits that one into the seats, and he gets Seattle on the board with their first hit.
He's a perfect 4 for 4 to start the year.
that left the bat. That wasn't coming by.
Ryan Healy takes a strike. You know, every once in a while you'll see a pitch back up and the hitter gets away with it. Maybe because it surprises a hitter. He's not expecting it to do that. But boy, usually when they hang, they don't come back. Just outside 1-1.
Last year, Carlos gave up 21 home runs on the year. You know, solo home runs, usually they don't beat you. You know, so sometimes that's what happens. If you go challenge certain guys or you make a mistake and they hit a solo shot, not much you can do with it. As long as you don't give up the 2-3 run home runs, the big boys.
And that's where Paxton, you know, as a starting pitcher, you got to be kicking yourself because of the walks. And as I pointed out, he wasn't bouncing it and throwing it to the backstop. But boy, when you put a guy on base,
well, he had first base open, I know, and he was fiddling with his mechanics and didn't look like he wanted a whole lot to do with Encarnacion. You know, he didn't want to give up that 2-run home run, so he walks him, and then Davis had to really key at bat with the walk to load the bases.
Healy goes down hacking, and the inning is over. Third strikeout for Carrasco. Haniger gets Seattle on the board. It's 4-1 Cleveland through 2.
Head coach for the Indians talked to Jose Ramirez after his last at bat about lunging. Said keep his weight back on his back foot. Feels like he was kind of lunging in his last at bat, and he's been doing that through the first 2 games.
Yeah, you get a little sway in that body movement, you know, leaning out front slows your bat down a little bit.
He didn't have to
quick hands.
Talk to Ramirez very many times a season ago. He had 91 extra base hits.
Well, you know, just a little tip, something that he's recognizing from the side.
Drills it high in the air to left. Back goes Ichiro on the track at the wall, and he just robbed him. What a play by Ichiro. 44 years young, and just climbed the wall and stole a home run away from Ramirez.
Well, there's the adjustment right there. Ramirez did use his hands, kept the body back, and hit the ball. It would have been a home run. He times it beautifully, looking up into the sun, and takes one away from Jose Ramirez. Good play. And this crowd, he is loved in this city. And you can see that definitely would have been a home run.
A 10-time Gold Glove winner. So weird seeing him in left field for all those years we came here and watching him in right. But what do the great ones do? They adjust.
Yeah, they
he's
make
been
an
adjusting
adjustment.
for a long time.
He was a great right fielder for a long time with a very good arm, but now he's over there in left, and they're not the same. There's differences over there, but doesn't seem to bother Ichiro. What a play, and took one from Ramirez. We remember last year Ramirez had 2 that were helped, aided in Detroit in the same game when he had his 5 extra base hits, that 2 were pushed over the fence. This time, 1 taken away.
Edwin chops one to short. Segura kicks it off the heel of his glove. The third baseman, Seager, picks him up and throws out Encarnacion.
Yeah, you want to talk about a break.
I guess you got to score that 6-5-3.
Well, if you're playing a game of flip. I mean, that Segura just booted it, but you know, and Seager was right there, and it just deflected right to him. So what do? You pick it up, you throw to first base, and Encarnacion's not quick going down the line, so they're able to throw him out. So that really picks up packs in those 2 plays right there. You save a home run, and you also save a base.
2 down for Rajay Davis now. He had a vicious hack fouling it back to the screen. He's got to be saying to himself, what do I have to do to square one of these up? He's been on that fastball a number of times already today.
Keep swinging.
Up and away. 2-1. Foul back out of play. Rajay Davis, a key at bat in that first inning. He walked to load the bases, and then Yonder Alonso with the 2-out grand slam. Good pitch. He takes a called 3rd strike, and the Indians go 1-2-3 thanks to some special defensive plays here in the 3rd. Our Miller holds true moment. Right now, bottom of the 3rd inning. And the 8th place hitter, Mike Margema, will lead off for Seattle. Margema was pressed into starting duty on opening day when Mike Zunino was held out for what they said was precautionary reasons. But it was more than that, because when Margema got hit on the catching hand by a swing from Edwin Encarnacion, he was in a lot of pain, but he said afterwards, I knew I had to stay in there because there was no other option.
Yeah.
And that was proved true, because they put Zunino on the DL, and they have called up David Freitas to be the other second catcher now. A lot of injuries, and that's what's crazy. I mean, we're in the first weekend. We only played a couple of games in Major League Baseball. We've had a lot of wild moments, but there's DL moves all over the place already.
It is crazy. Yes, yes, indeed.
We're going to show those to you here, at least the Seattle players in a moment. Here's a ground ball to second base, and Jason Kipnis will take care of Margema. And the injury report is always brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk, and this is what Seattle is looking at with Zunino.
Yeah,
Ben Gamble's a key guy. He's got an oblique injury. David Phelps they lost in spring training to an elbow injury. But Arch already. Ian Kinsler on the DL with a groin injury with the Angels. Delino DeShields will miss 4 to 6 weeks. He fractured the hamate bone. Aaron Hicks of the Yankees. Pat Neshek of the Phillies. All these guys one day. Boom. Crazy. Now Ichiro. Rounds one up the gut. Kipnis. Backhand. Can't get the throw off in time. It stays in play, fortunately for the Indians. And Ichiro is aboard with a one-out infield single.
Well, that's what he's done his whole career. If he doesn't hit it right at you as an infielder and you have to range either to your left or to your right, there's really a pretty good chance he's going to get a base hit, because he's been able to run. And at 44, he still gets down the line pretty well. Kipnis tried to do the old pop-up slide, you know, and try to make the throw. But even if he gets something on that, I don't think he would have had him at first base.
Yeah, he still gets out of the box so quickly from the left side.
He's running. I mean, you know, he swings and he's running all in one motion.
4-1 Indians lead it here in the bottom of the third. Top of the order now. D. Gordon flied to left in the first. And he gets one. Chisenhall will cut it off. He'll hold Gordon to a single. Ichiro goes to third. First hit of the year. I should say the second hit of the year. First hit of the day for D. Gordon.
Came right at him with a fastball, and Gordon turns on it and hits a line drive into right center field. So he will put runners on the corners with one out here.
Gene Segura struck out in the first inning on 3 pitches. And a key spot for Carrasco early, with the Indians leading by 3. And he's got the top hitters of the Mariners coming up here. Gordon bluffed to move, and Segura takes a strike.
Pretty good jump if he continued to go. You know, a lot of times when you have speed on first and third, some teams will elect not to throw through in a situation. We'll see what happens here, but I would expect
0-2.
If that's the pitch, if you're on first base, that you'd like to try and steal on that slider.
I'm with you. I'm a little surprised Gordon wasn't going there, but
well, he did, but he stopped.
Maybe they just feel like down 3, you don't want to take any chances.
Well, you can take a chance now with one out here. It's still early in the game. When you start getting to the middle part of the game is where you really don't want to give up an out.
Carrasco holding it. Now the runner goes. Segura punches it into center field. It's a base hit. A run will score, and Gordon goes to third on an 0-2 pitch. Gene Segura delivers for Seattle. It's 4-2.
Well, it was slider, slider, slider. Everything has been sliders to Segura, and he was just going to try and put that ball in play. Gordon was off and running, and he hit a good pitch, but that means he was looking for it. He was not going to look for anything else. He was looking a way to put it in play, And you can see with the way he had that swing, he hit a little line drive to center field, 3 straight hits, makes it a 4-2 lead.
Our first mound visit of the year for the Indians as Carl Willis goes to talk to Cookie Carrasco.
You know, and I think every pitch to Segura so far has been a slider. He struck him out on 3 pitches the first time up. Came back with the first 2 sliders, went with the third one, and he just played pepper with it.
Let's go down to Andre.
It's funny that you bring that up, Arch, because I'm talking to Carl Willis, and Carrasco's last 2 starts in the spring went through the order real quick both times. Second time through, didn't make adjustments. And he said that's something that he's going to have to do after he goes to the lineup once because teams were jumping him and going off the sequence that he went through. And he goes, it was just spring training, but it was something he was paying attention to.
Absolutely. You cannot continue to keep throwing the pitch. You still have to mix in other pitches and keep hitters honest because they will make adjustments.
Bounced in there, and Rooms did a great job of blocking it. Terry Francona says of Carlos Carrasco, he's already pitched himself into the top handful of guys in baseball. But to get to that next level, to get to that Cy Young level where Corey Kluber is, it's being mentally strong enough to get through spots like this in a game.
Yes. Yeah, you stop the momentum. He could use a ground ball here, look for a double play. And that's going to be the changeup. And that's what he likes to throw to the left-handers. He has a very good changeup. And you're going to watch the movement. It's down, and if you hit the ball, it's going to be a ground ball, but he got Cano to chase that one. But it's not like you can throw that every single pitch. You have to set it up. You've got to work it. You've got to work all your pitches, and Cano is one tough hitter.
The 1-1 runner goes, and Cano shoots it to left. That's going to drop for a base hit. It's a 1-run game. 4 straight hits for Seattle, and all 4 of them singles.
Well, Cano not trying to do too much. He stayed on the baseball, so he was protecting for that changeup, but the fastball was upstairs there. Enabled him to get on top of it and you know, not hit it hard, but hit it to left field. He made the adjustment on a high fastball. So now with Seattle, with 4 straight hits, they have 5 on the day, and Carrasco trying to stop the bleeding here.
Well, the Indians bullpen is about to get busy already here in the 3rd inning. Nelson Cruz takes ball 1. This kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, an infield a single by Ichiro. And then Gordon, you know, hits the gap in right center field, sends it to first and third. And then he had Segura down 0-2 and threw him another slider that he just played pepper with.
1-1.
Goes to show you, you know, if you work it and you give it, you don't, you know, get greedy. You take what the pitcher's going to give you in a situation.
If you don't go up there just trying to hit home runs every time, that's kind of what we're seeing. The hitters maybe giving in a little bit, just taking what's there.
You need base runners, keep them moving.
Ripped to first, Alonso has it. Double play will end the inning. A liner
hit hard
at Yonder. They finally hit one hard. It's right at Alonso. And he goes to Lindor to end the inning. Alonso's grand slam still has the Indians up by 1. And in the fourth inning, Yonder Alonso, whose first inning grand slam staked the Tribe to a 4-0 lead, will lead it off.
Well, Paxton has new life. They gave it to him last inning defensively. When Ichiro robbed Ramirez of a home run, you had the deflection on the infield in Encarnacion. The Indians would like to now get right back on the board. There was the fastball. The 1-0 pitch that gave the Indians their 4 runs in the first inning. Alonso's first home run, and it was a grand slam. It was the big one.
Paxton changing speeds to get ahead 0-2. Fouls it off.
Yeah, that's the pitch he's going to want to get Alonso with after he got him. He got the fastball in at bat number 1. I'd like to get him to swing at his breaking ball.
There it was, but Alonso lays off. Since the grand slam by Alonso, the Indians only have 1 base runner, and that was a 2-out bunt single by Lindor in the second. Full count. It's ball 4. The Indians have a leadoff walk as Alonso is aboard to start the 4th. Back to the studios. Here's Al Pawlowski. All right, thanks, Al. Here is Brandon Geyer, and Paxton once again falling behind. This is what got him in trouble in the first inning.
Yeah, you take your base runners. That's his 3rd walk allowed this afternoon.
We were talking the other day. It seems kind of rare and odd to be out here in Seattle to open the season. It's only the 3rd time these two teams have ever met to open a baseball season. The first time was when Progressive Field, then Jacobs Field, opened in 1994.
Right. Yes, indeed. I remember that game well. I'm sure you do too.
2-0 pitch hammered high in the air, deep center. Back is Gordon, gliding onto the warning track and makes the catch. And Alonso all the way back to first on the long fly ball out by Geyer. The next time these two teams hooked up was 4 years later in 1998. It was here at the old Kingdome.
Right. That was a Randy Johnson against Charles Nagy game that started, and the Indians won that game 10-9.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago today.
Oh, it was, huh? Today?
Indians were down by 6 runs. They rallied back to win it 10-9.
Yeah, the Mariners hit 4 home runs in that ball game. But the Indians always seem to play well out here.
Yeah, in fact, Rick, only the Yankees among teams outside the Western Division have more wins here than Cleveland.
They've always played well here.
Down low. Don Gomes struck out in the second inning. Pulls that foul.
I can remember one game here they hit 8 home runs in a ball game.
Victor Martinez was part of that.
Yeah, Hafner and those guys. Yeah, That goes back a ways.
1-2 pitch. Up and away to Yan Gomes. Smacks one high and deep to center. Back goes Gordon. He's out of room. It's out of here. Yan Gomes with a fist pump around first base. And a 2-run homer extends the Indians' lead now to 6-3.
I'll tell you what, Geyer hit a bolt out there, but this one had to go because Gomes crushed this one. And straight away center field, and that's what they needed. They needed a response, and Gomes gives it to them. A 2-run homer, so all 6 runs have scored via the long ball, and there was one out over the plate. Man, he crushed it. Run out of room if you're D. Gordon. Yan Gomes hits his first, and you can see he's thrilled about that one.
Gomes, who had a hit and a run batted in on opening day, now adds to that with a homer, a 2-run shot. 6-3 Cleveland. Mel Stottlemyre Jr. out to talk with Paxton. So each pitching coach has now made a trip to the mound.
Yeah, and when you look at it, all 3 walks that Paxton has given the Indians have come around to score. So that's certainly helped. They haven't had to hit their way on. He's walked 3 guys, and the home runs have really cleaned it up.
Now Lonnie Chisenhall with a broken bat flare that falls into shallow right.
He was decoyed. He thought the ball was hit over there, and it was almost like a changeup.
Did he lose it, or he just?
I don't think so. I just think he broke the wrong way. He broke the wrong way.
I see what you're saying.
He broke to the left, and it was over his right shoulder.
Yeah, watch Cano.
Cano goes that
and
side,
then he realizes, oh, I went the wrong way.
Yes, he did. Yes, sir, Ray. He could not get he didn't get a jump on it. He broke the wrong way.
The way he reacted, I couldn't figure out what was going on there. I thought the way he reacted, he's going to catch it
almost
easily.
Like you're holding up 2 baseballs, and all of a sudden he's going to the one on the right, and you're throwing the one on the left.
Lonnie will take it any which way. And now Francisco Lindor, who lined out to third in the first, bunt single in the second. Even though there was an off day yesterday, Seattle used 5 relievers on opening day. The Indians didn't use anybody in their bullpen. 2-1 after a fastball strike. Both bullpens quiet at the moment. Hits even at 5 apiece now. And the 2-1. Hit in the air, right center field. Haniger, the right fielder, will give way to D. Gordon. And there are 2 down. Join T-Mobile and score free MLB.TV all season long. If you sign up now through April 2nd, so time's running out. You can do it at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Tomorrow is April Fool's Day.
Also Easter Sunday.
I was going to say, but be nice because it's also Easter Sunday.
Be nice.
If you want those eggs filled with chocolate,
I'm going to go looking around my room.
down in the dirt, ball 1. Margin with a nice stop. Low. Jason Kipnis, he doubled in the first, came around to score, fly to left in the second. Paxton with a dart. It's 2-1. Chopped up the middle. Will it get through? Yes, it will. Lonnie Chisholm hits the bank. He'll hold at second. And so a pair of singles keep the pressure on Paxton after the 2-run homer by Gomes.
Well, 2 outs there. Chisenhall off. I thought he was going to go to third base in that one, in that case, but he holds up, keeps the inning going. Still first and second. 2 outs.
And Jose Ramirez to the plate. Now Ramirez jolted one to deep left in the 3rd inning, but Ichiro went over the fence and robbed him of a home run.
Well, maybe he can hit this one a little bit farther where nobody can jump and catch it.
Or his specialty a year ago, just plug
Double?
the gap for another double. 56 of them last year.
Yeah, amazing.
Low, ball 1.
Well, like Andre said, Ty Van Berkeley caught him leaning, you know, his body moving a little bit. He stayed back in his last at bat, used the hands and let him work and hit the ball very hard.
Takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Ramirez had 46 doubles the year before. Back-to-back seasons puts him in pretty exclusive company. Popped in the air. Should end the inning. Gordon makes the catch. Well, Yan Gomes restoring order for the Tribe. He blasts one out of here. It's 6-3 Cleveland, middle of the 4th. Sandwich and a bottle of champagne. Well, our stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Carlos Carrasco in his career as a starter. Look at the difference home and road. He's been much better. All 8 of his complete game efforts have been away.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it? About a run and a half different ERA. Home road splits.
Cookie just celebrated his 31st birthday 10 days ago.
Well, they gave him a couple more runs. They answered what the Mariners put on the board in the 3rd. So let's see if it gives him a little bit of a boost and he can have a quick 1-2-3 inning.
3 shift to the right side of the infield for the Indians against Kyle Seager. Popped in the air, left center field. Rajay calling for it. And Geyer didn't hear him, but Rajay makes the catch anyway.
Well, you see both guys were looking up into the sun, and Davis saying, hey, look, it's both their first start out there. But as Geyer, he could have had it, but the center fielder's calling for it, so you got to get out of the way. You have to communicate. There he is. He's calling for it, and if he calls for it, get out of the way. And he holds it, so it's a good thing. And they were lucky.
Oh, wow.
That went in Geyer's glove, and it goes right down into the heel.
All right, so here is Mitch Haniger. He got the Mariners on the board in the second inning with a home run to left field. And you'll notice our strike zone box, something new for the telecast this year. That will adjust for every hitter. It will provide an accurate strike zone for that hitter.
And the speed.
And it'll give us the speed of each pitch. Way outside with the fastball, and it's 2-0.
Well, Mitch Haniger is off to a terrific start this year. He is 4 for 4. He had 2 singles, a double in game 1 off Corey Kluber, and his first at bat hit a solo home run against Carlos Carrasco.
And that's fouled back out of play.
He was off to a very good start last year, a healthy offensive year, and then got hurt a little bit, and it slowed him down. He missed some time.
Yeah, 60 games lost to the disabled list last year for Haniger.
It was too bad because he was off to a good start. Yeah, and this team, they lost a lot of people last year. They used 61 players last season, which is the most ever as far as an organization goes, and 40 of those were pitchers.
The 3-2. High in the air. Right field, Chisenhall. 2 down.
Well, Tribe 6-packs are on sale starting at just $99. And they include some of the hottest promotions of the season, including dollar dog nights, fireworks nights, selected promo items, and more. So go to Indians.com and purchase yours today.
Going to bring up Ryan Healy, who struck out in the second inning. Carlos Carrasco struck out a pair in the first. He struck out Healy to end the second inning. Hasn't registered a strikeout since. And last year, Corey Kluber and Cookie became the first teammates since Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling to have 18 wins and strike out at least 220 in the same season. Pretty impressive.
That was a special year. A lot of times, you know, first of all, to get the wins now, you've got to go deeper in ball games when you're a starter, and you know, because nowadays the relievers are coming in. And I'll tell you, it was a trio, and Bauer is not far off. He only missed 200 strikeouts, but what was it, 4? I think he had 196.
And he finished with 17 wins.
Yeah, and had 17 wins, only one behind him. So the trio, they were, I'll tell you what, they were fun to watch. And we'll have Trevor Bauer making his first start tomorrow on getaway day here.
Good pitch in there for a strike. 3-1. Back and now full count. Not like you can just fall behind a guy like Healy and then groove him in there, because he had 25 home runs last year.
Yeah, right. With Oakland, yes, he did. Good power.
High pop. Again, shallow right. Lonnie says, I've got it. And Chisenhall puts it away. It's a 1-2-3 inning, the second of the day for Carrasco. It's 6-3 Cleveland after 4. Ball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. Cool spring-like day here in Seattle, Washington on this, the 31st of March. 51 degrees at game time, expected to hit close to 60 before it's all said and done today here in the Pacific Northwest. Then a change comes tomorrow. Temperatures will dip and a chilling rain will move into Seattle, so we'll have the roof closed tomorrow. Here's the 0-1 now to Edwin Encarnacion. It's a little bit outside. Did not go. 2-1. Took a rip but fouls it back. First time we've got action in the Seattle bullpen today. Right-hander getting loose. You see Paxton already over 90 pitches. That's Casey Lawrence. Just missed inside. You can see Edwin sort of flinching on that pitch, Arch.
Yeah, breaking ball down and in that he was able to lay off of. That's one where the left-hander wants you to start biting and get after it. But they've had some pretty good takes off Paxton today as a team, collectively, you know, where he's missed. And, you know, they've had the count in their favor quite a bit today, too. First pitch strikes, just 10 of 22.
Right back.
But you can see a number of guys have fouled off the fastball that he throws, so that ball gets in there on him, and they haven't been able to really hit it center cut. A couple of guys have. Alonso did. Gomes certainly did. He got him down a little bit, but when he elevates it belt higher above, it's tough to get on top of.
Fouled by Encarnacion. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up for Edwin. And it got a piece of his bat, went right into the glove of Marjama. And that's a strikeout. Fourth for Paxton. I tell you what, that was probably going to be a strike anyway.
Yeah, it sure was.
4 strikeouts for Paxton. One down here in the 5th, and Rajay Davis. Down low. Rajay walked in the 1st inning, and that is one of the biggest at-bats of the game, because he had been very careful with Encarnacion with the base open. He ended up walking him, and then Rajay fouled off, I don't know, 3-4 good fastballs.
Yes, I think about 4 fastballs. He had a 9 or 10 pitch at bat.
And then he took a breaking ball and ended up drawing the walk. That loaded the bases, and then Yonder Alonso came through with the grand slam. And it was 4-0 right out of the gate for Cleveland. And he had to work hard to get through that 1st inning, and that took its toll. And you can see he's just down right at 100 pitches coming up here with only 2 out in the 5th. Indians also got him for a couple of runs in the 4th inning, another frame in which he had to work.
This is a guy, when he gets ahead of you as a hitter, you could be in trouble. But as I said, just 10 of 24 first pitch strikes by Paxton today.
And in that 1st inning, you called it when Alonso was coming to the plate. He really didn't have his breaking ball, so you could sit fastball. You could just say, if it's a breaking ball, I'm going to let it go.
See a spit on it, right.
And Alonso got the heater and smoked it.
Yeah, that 2nd pitch, he sure did, and he didn't miss it.
And here he is, 3-0.
And we told you last year, since he came up in 16 in June, he only gave up 18 home runs. The Indians have been able to get him twice today, but 2 big ones, a grand slam, and Gomes hit a 2-run homer back in the 4th.
Yeah, last year in the 24 games he started, he only allowed 9 homers for the year. I know he missed some time with the DL, but still kept it in the yard. And this is a good park to pitch in, as far as it can be a little tougher to hit a ball out of this environment. Scott Service is going to go to the mound and probably going to make a pitching change, but what do you got on season tickets, big man?
Well, we're going to save big. Single game prices. You get access to the summer season ticket autograph party and plenty more with a Tribe season ticket plan. 20, 40, or 81 game plans are available. Just go to Indians.com.
Well, the decision has been made. The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made. James Paxton is out. Right-hander Casey Lawrence is coming on. And we'll probably get a pinch hitter for Brandon Geyer. We'll sort it all out for you when we come back. With 1 on, 2 out in the 5th, right-hander Casey Lawrence will be coming on. Last year, 27 appearances and a 6.34 ERA. He'll be facing a pinch hitter. Bradley Zimmer will bat for Brandon Geyer, who went 0 for 2 today. Zimmer in the season opener was 0 for 3. Seattle goes to a shift. They'll keep 3 on the right side of the infield. And a count 2-0. The theme continues. New pitcher. But like Paxton, falling behind early in the count. Way outside, and it's 3-0.
They can get in the strike zone now. Take all away. Now, with that 3-0 count, Seager at third base goes all the way to the deep part of the infield and will play shortstop.
Almost like a 2-strike approach for the infield.
Figuring he's going to be swinging away.
He was, but he came up empty. It's 3-1.
Well, he had the green light on a 3-0 pitch and comes up empty.
Toss to first. Alonso did steal 2 bases last year, but he is not regularly going to be running. Full count.
Well, he'll be running now. Healy will play behind him. Full count, he'll be off and have a head start.
Zimmer sends a towering fly ball deep center field. Back is Gordon at the wall and makes the catch. Halfway through here at Safeco, 6-3 Cleveland. the day's hottest sports topics, Undisputed, with Skip and Shannon weekdays from 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1. Defensively now for the Indians, Bradley Zimmer stays in the game. He'll go to center field, and Rajay Davis moves from center over to left. Bottom of the fifth, Mike Margema to lead off, the number 8 hitter for the Mariners. Indians bullpen is quiet. Carrasco with a fastball strike.
Yeah, with Carrasco you look at, that's just pitch number 59, or it'll be pitch number 59 coming now. So he's very well under control.
Bloop toward second, Kipnis, 1 down. Our great clip of the game is from Thursday, and Corey Kluber, after he gave up the first inning home run, he dominated the rest of the way. He went the distance. A total of 6 hits allowed. He struck out 8, walked 1.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. One bad pitch cost him a ball game, but he was in total command of that game. And went his 8 innings, had the complete game. Unfortunately, offensively, they couldn't generate anything, but they did have an opportunity.
Yeah,
late in the game in the ninth, they had it. I mean, it was there for the taking, but they couldn't take advantage of it.
Yeah. How many times will you ever see a guy come in and hit 2 guys, balk, and strike out the side? Struck out the
I know.
3 guys.
Well, they
It's a
had
bizarre
opportunities,
inning.
man, on third, less than 2 outs to tie it, but it was just one of those games, man. 2-1 game. That's the way we started out. Kluber was Corey Kluber.
Ichiro tees off. Deep right, but not deep enough. Chisenhall runs it down on the warning track. 2 away. There was a time when you would see Ichiro do that, you could bet your money it was going to be in the seats. He had that ability to just every once in a while turn on a pitch and really hit it hard to right.
Yeah, when he knows maybe you're going to throw one inside, he could cheat on it every once in a while, but you get to 44 years old and you lose a little bit of that muscle. Warning track power.
D. Gordon singled and scored in the 3rd. .60 stolen bases last year for D. Gordon.
Well, they'd like him to do the same thing this year if he can, especially with the hitters they have behind him.
Carrasco gets ahead 1-2.
Again, we talked about it with Seattle. Offensively, you think they should be able to score some runs. With the team that they throw out there day in and day out, it's going to be all on that bump out there. How consistent they will be.
And the bullpen.
Yeah,
to go along with it.
Right,
Yeah.
and the bullpen.
Starters
Right.
and bullpen
Yeah,
combined.
exactly. Because you're in there against Houston, and now the Angels. They've made a little bit of a splash in there, and it's almost like if you're Seattle. I don't want to say you're conceding the division to Houston, but boy, they're awful strong ball club. It's going to be tough to unseat them.
Well, and then just in the division, the games at Texas are never going to be a walk in the park.
Well, in any division. I mean, it's the
that's
same
true,
with
yeah.
us. When you get into divisional games, it always seems like every team plays each other tough because they're so familiar with each other. And they could be close ball games, and I don't care, how much better you think you are than a certain team. They're gonna fight you tooth and nail to the end.
The 1-2. Cookie strikes him out. His 4th of the afternoon, and he has now set down 7 straight. Through 5 in Seattle, it's the Indians 6 and the Mariners 3.
Indians' code is Allen. Just visit Indians.com for complete details. There's Cody out in the shade. We may see him later today. Then again, we may not.
We haven't seen anybody from the Indians bullpen so far this year.
And Carrasco's got his pitch count is down, so.
Hey, those guys don't mind, I'm sure. As much as they want to throw, it's that delicate balance. We've talked about it so many times before. You don't want to overwork the bullpen, but you got to get them their work.
Well, I think, yeah, now you would like to get them work after an off day yesterday, and nobody was used the first day. I think you'd like to get a couple guys some work.
I want to get your thoughts on something that I was asked by a lot of people in the offseason. With Brian Shaw's departure, how do the Indians fill that void? And Tito said, you know, might take 2 or 3 guys to pick up all those innings. I say along those lines, it has to be collective, but not just among the bullpen. Arch, I almost feel like maybe not consciously you have to do it, but the starters, maybe it's an extra third of an inning here and there. If the starters go just a little deeper on average, that's going to help the bullpen and help pick up some of that slack too.
It certainly could help you. When you think about it, the difference between, let's say, 5 innings and 6 innings as a starter, if you're averaging, is a huge difference off that bullpen.
Yeah.
So you're right. It could definitely be picked up maybe by starters, where sometimes when you have the guys you can go to in that bullpen, you'll feel a little more comfortable. Let's give this guy a break, you know, or a rest today, or only let him go 5. Well, you know, sometimes you can push him to 6. It doesn't have to be the bullpen, but they'll find a way. They'll find a way to eat up the innings that Brian Shaw was
The other
eating
thing
up.
is there are no shrinking violets in that bullpen, and I talked to all those guys this spring. Dan Otero, Nick Goody, Tyler Olson. These guys are all, they relish the opportunity to go out there and prove that they can get the job done.
Well, that's the thing. You're going to have to prove it, you know, and you want to earn those innings, and somebody will. They'll get down to it. See, those guys are getting a little antsy. They want to get some time. They're sitting out there cleaning their fingernails, having a drink of water, having a little fruit.
2-2 swung on and missed. Casey Lawrence strikes out Gomes, 1 down. Our mid-game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. First inning, bases loaded, unload them. Yonder Alonso with a grand slam. It was 4-0. But then Robinson Cano brought Seattle back in the 3rd. They scored a couple to cut the gap to 1 run. And then Yan Gomes restored a little bit of a cushion for Cleveland with a 2-run homer in the 4th. And that's where we stand at 6-3. Lonnie Chisenhall, base hit in the 4th inning. 2 games, 2 hits for Lonnie. There's a high fly ball to right field. Haniger settles under. 2 away. Francisco Lindor. His only hit so far on the year, a bunt single in the 2nd inning. He hit one right on the nose, though, his first time up. Lined it to 3rd. Kyle Seager. A nice play to rob him of a hit. And misses. It's 1-1.
That changeup's pretty slow, about 81 miles an hour.
Right back. Frankie gets a piece of it.
Yeah, the emergency swing to get a piece of it. When you're fooled, he was able to keep his hands back enough. Watch, fooled on it, and then just flicks the bat and fouls it straight off, straight back. Live for another pitch.
There you go, he went, and Frankie will try to beat it out, but Marjama jumps on it and throws him out. Indians go in order. Midway through the sixth, 6-3 Cleveland.
Well, I've got the latest news for you on what might happen to him in today's Hear Right Sounds of the Game.
I actually kind of like it because my curls are coming back. So I want my curls, man. It's not growing as fast as I thought it was going to grow. No, I actually got a bet with my high school team. If they go 25-0, I got to shave it.
Well, the high school that he's talking about, his high school, Mount Verde Academy down in the Orlando area, is 16-0, guys. And remember this name, Nander Decides. He's a shortstop that plays for Mount Verde. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, and he's following in the footsteps of Lindor. He's expected to be a top 10 pick in this year's draft.
No kidding.
Wow.
So they've got a ways to go. What do they got? 9 more games they've got to go? And I'm sure he'll have to shave his head if they do go 25-0.
Gene Segura leading off here in the bottom of the sixth. First time up, he struck out on 3 pitches. Second time up in a key spot with a couple of guys on base. He was down 2 strikes and went down and somehow flicked one into center field. It was a big at bat for the Mariners. Kept the momentum going. They would pile up 4 straight hits in that inning, all of them singles. And they scored a couple of runs to cut the Indians' lead at that time to 4-3. But to Carrasco's credit, he got out of that inning on a line drive double play that Nelson Cruz hit to Alonso and has not allowed a base runner since. It's crazy how this game works sometimes.
Yeah.
The way the momentum can shift and then completely come to a halt.
Well, the Indians came and put 2 on the board after they scored their 2 runs.
Carrasco knocks it down.
Where'd that go? You know, Carrasco gets a lot of balls hit back up the middle off him. You remember in spring training he had one off his foot. And this one, I mean, I want to see where it gets him. Does this one catch him on the spike? It just stops.
Looked like it
stays
bounced
right there.
first, and so maybe it took a little of the steam out of it. But you're right, he got hit in his, was the last spring training start?
His second to last.
Right on the foot.
We were doing it. I mean, we were doing the game on the 21st of March, and that one looked like it caught him on the heel of the left foot. But I mean, over the years, the last few years, you know, the Milky Cabrera, he took one in the face, and then the Detroit game, Kinsler off the hand and the body. He gets a lot of balls hit right back up the middle.
Cano goes up the middle, and no one can get to it. It's a C&I single in the center. Snaps a string of 8 in a row retired by Cookie.
Well, you're going to see Jason going over to his right on the backhand side. You see what happened? That ball, that's the topspin we talk about. If you watch that on the slow motion, you see how that ball picks up speed as it hits the ground. With some of these hitters, when they roll over on a ball and they hit it, they get that topspin and it seems to pick up speed. And it was able to get past him for a base hit by Cano.
Nelson Cruz, 0 for 2. Not quite a shift, but the left side of the infield pulled around on the right-handed hitting Cruz. Kipnis shades him up the middle at second base. And he hits a high drive deep left center. This one is back and goodbye. And once again, it's a one-run game. Nelson Cruz with his second two-run homer in as many games.
Well, the second home run given up by Carrasco today, and it's another slider. Watch, this one's going to stay down. Looked like a little breaking ball. And he went down to get it, boy. You speed up his bat. He's an excellent breaking ball hitter. And there it is, a two-run shot, and that'll make it a one-run ball game. It's now 6-5.
And here is Kyle Seager, 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Seager trying to catch up, can't do it, 1-on-1. Zach McAllister getting loose in Cleveland's bullpen. Right field over near the line, Lonnie Chisenhall makes the grab, and that's out number 2.
You know, that ball too, now that I saw that replay, may have been a changeup to Cruz. Because this could have been
going to go to the mound and make a pitching change here as we take another look at the Cruz home run.
Yeah, we won't get a look at that pitch, but I'm thinking that might have been a changeup down. So his second two-run home run of the year, and Carrasco done after 5 2/3.
Leaves allowing 5 runs on 7 hits. And the new pitcher will be Zach McAllister when we come back. the wrong direction that cost you in this game. And for Carrasco, he pitched well, but boy, there were a couple of pitches that really hurt him in this game. And the 2-run homer ends his day in the 6th inning. Zach McAllister on now to try and hold the fort. Looking for the final out of the 6th. And then it'll be Andrew Miller, Cody Allen time.
McAllister, the first reliever used this year by the Indians, coming on here in the 6th to try and get this final out and keep that 1-run lead.
Way outside, and it's 1-1. Off-speed pitch and a good one by McAllister. Pops him up. Shallow right. And Lonnie Chisenhall will make the catch to retire the side. Nelson Cruz draws Seattle back to within a run. 7th inning coming up next. Lawyers at Elk and Elk, proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. South of downtown, or what they call lower downtown, the Lodo, is where Safeco Field is situated, nestled right next door to CenturyLink Field, home of the Seattle Seahawks.
And we have a soccer game going on tonight there too, don't we?
Yeah, I heard you have tickets.
Yeah, 7 o'clock start. Well, we don't have to go back. We'll just, on the way back, stop over there.
Watch them kick the ball around for a few hours.
Why would you?
It'll be fun.
That's big out here. They love it. They put up big numbers.
Casey Lawrence staying on. He's pitched an inning and a third. Perfect relief out of the Seattle pen. Jason Kipnis having a good day. 2 for 3, a single, a double, and a run scored.
A lot of off-speed pitches here by Lawrence. Has a little slider that's in the low 80s, and his changeup is right about the same spot, 81 or thereabouts.
Check. It was low. He did not go.
He's one of the guys you want to get the ball up.
Popped him straight up. on the infield right at home plate. Marginal squeezes it, 1 down. Well, the Memorial Tournament presented by Nationwide is coming to beautiful Muirfield Village Golf Club. Make it a 4-day weekend. It's May 31st through June 3rd. Order your badges at memorialbadges.com. Just 2 months away. Jose Ramirez 0 for 3. Ball, 1 strike. Flares 1 toward left, but shallow is Ichiro. And they are 2 down. Well, Ramirez 0 for 8 to start the year. And it will bring up Edwin Encarnacion.
A lot of pitches today looked well, but when he's fouled off some good pitches to hit, that he put good swings on the baseball, but he has fouled them straight back. Sometimes that's what happens. That timing, it takes a while to get it going. But it looks like he's seeing the ball.
Yeah, he's not swinging wildly at bad pitches.
No.
And we saw a lot of that early last year.
Yeah, he's not chasing pitches. It looks like he's seeing the ball well. He's taking some close pitches. He's fouling off pitches that he's putting good swings at.
Hit that one hard, but with the shift on, it's right at Cano. Indians go in order. Lawrence has set down 7 straight. Stretch time in Seattle, 6-5 Cleveland.
Day out at Progressive Field, the Indians will take on the Kansas City Royals. You may want to grab some friends and a $15 district ticket, and you'll get a standing room only ticket to the park. First drink on us. Can't wait to get home. I know the forecast doesn't look all that well, but we'll be home, rain or shine. We're going to play on Friday.
2 balls and a strike. In the air, right field, Chisenhall making the catch. Lonnie's been busy today. That's now 6 putouts for the Indians right fielder, including the last 3 in a row. Mike Margema 0 for 2 on the afternoon. And he pops one straight up. Gomes. 2 down.
Tito's going to come make that move to Andrew Miller, who was up getting loose for the left-hander.
So Zach McAllister with a perfect inning of relief. Retires all 3 that he faces. He'll step aside for Miller time here in the 7th when we come back. Base is empty, and Andrew Miller will make his season debut last year. 1.44 ERA. Dealt with that knee injury that was problematic for him. Actually cost him a chunk of that 22-game winning streak.
Right.
Lefty-lefty matchup here. Ichiro singled and scored in the 3rd, fly to deep right in the 5th. Starts him off with a first pitch slider on the black for a strike. Right over the outside corner.
And he expanded a little bit more. You can see just a couple inches off the plate. And you get him to swing and watch the swing of Ichiro, how he's sort of leaning towards first base. You could maybe expand it a little bit more.
Went inside.
Yep. And that's where a hitter, you'll look for that slider away, thinking he's going to throw it, so you try to freeze him and buckle him, but that ball did stay a little bit in off the plate.
And he lines one over the head of Lindor. So a 2-out single for Seattle, and they've got the tying run aboard.
Yeah, and this one looked like it had a little bit of the plate, and he just stayed on it. And you know, you don't get 3,000 hits for nothing. You can see that one, there it was, middle in. and it was up a little bit, and he just has that patented swing where he lines it to left field, and I don't know how many hits have gone that way off his bat, but there's a 2-out single by Ichiro.
And D. Gordon, the speedster, takes a strike. He's 1 for 3 today. That's punched, shallow left. Nobody can get there. And so a couple of just wet newspaper whacks at the baseball result in back-to-back singles. And with 2 outs, Seattle has something brewing now for Gene Segura.
Yeah, really nothing you can do to defend this. This ball, he just stayed on it and just hits a little flare. It's going to be over the head of Lindor. Falls in front of Davis. So back-to-back singles by the left-handers to keep this inning going. And now the tying run is in scoring position.
Shoots it foul. It's 0-2. Ichiro the tying run at second base. Miller's 2-strike pitch. Swung out and missed. He struck him out to end the inning. 7 in the books, and it remains 6-5 Cleveland. Thanks, Al Jensen. Here we go. Rajay Davis to lead off the 8th inning. Indians up a run, looking for some insurance now late in this game. Rajay and Yonder Alonso and Bradley Zimmer due up for the try.
Casey Lawrence has gone 2 1/3 no-hit innings. He's done exactly what you have to do. Keep it intact until your offense can maybe generate something. And you shut down the Indians. 7 up, 7 down.
Hard hit ball foul, third base side.
And this is a guy that you don't look for much off him. He's the one that really slows it down. You really have to stay back and maybe concentrate on looking to shoot him the other way. From what we've seen so far today.
Knocked up foul. Isn't played. Looks like it is.
Easy pop-ups.
That's the play. 1 down. Time for our Miller hold true moment, and back in the first inning with the bags filled, Yonder Alonso crushes one into the lower deck in right field for a grand slam. That staked the Tribe to a 4-0 lead.
Yes, sir, boy. That got him off and rolling, and it's been the long ball for the Indians today.
They have not trailed, though Seattle twice has come back to cut their lead to 1 run. Timeout. Mariners go to the left-hander Mark Zipchinski when we come back. Pitch. You got Yonder Alonso to line out, and then they quickly took him out of the game. But he's back in here again today to face Yonder Alonso. And we'll go down to Andre Knott with more on the lefty-lefty matchup here.
Well, for Yonder, that was the one thing that hurt him last year. He only hit 181 versus lefties last year. But he told me 2 weeks ago in spring training, the Indians played 4 lefties in a row, and Tito put him in the lineup every single day against them. He said he wanted as many at-bats as he could early in the spring to try to get off to a better start against lefties. It's a small sample, but it's better than what he had last year at this point.
Well, he's been good today. He walked twice, too, off the left-handers after hitting that grand slam. So, it's just a matter of having confidence and facing it, and every year is different.
Yonder's been on base all 3 times today, but he's going to have to work hard for it now. Strikes him out. 2 down.
Chinsky, a guy that he's going to see 60 appearances this year. You can almost bet on it. He's done that over the last 5 years.
9 in a row retired by the Mariners bullpen now. Chopped. Cano backhander. And again, the Indians go 1-2-3. Last half of the 8th coming up. Indians final run. Robinson Cano will lead it off, but it's not Nelson Cruz in the on-deck circle. Guillermo Heredia has moved to the on-deck circle to bat for Cruz. That's certainly an eyebrow raiser.
Well, yeah, after hitting that home run, I wonder if what happened to him.
Andrew Miller delivers outside, ball 1. There is Heredia. He came on in the opener as a defensive replacement late in the game for Ichiro. Two and 0. Well, obviously, Rick, something's got to be wrong with him. He's not a guy you take out, not a 39 homer guy.
Not with one swing of the bat where you can tie it up.
In the air, center field. Bradley Zimmer broke back. Now he has to race in. He can't make the catch. And Cano's going to second. Here's the throw. And he's in safely.
Yeah, bad route there by Zimmer. He broke back on the ball. Maybe he got fooled by the swing, but by the time he could come in, that ball falls in front of him. He sort of slides to try and catch it at the end, and it goes off. And watch him break back. See, he goes back, and now he comes in, and he is not going to get there, man. About a step behind that ball, and he just got that glove out front. It went in, but then it falls out because he couldn't extend his arm to get it out. And the pressure of that slide ends up kicking that ball out of the glove, and it'll go as a double.
Well, here is Heredia batting for Cruz. No official word on what happened to Cruz. Andre may have something.
I've had a couple Indians players come to me in between innings asking if they had heard anything. Jason Kipnis told me a couple Mariners players believe he got hurt after the home run, but they weren't sure. So they were asking me if I heard anything. I said not yet. But they're thinking something happened after the home run that he hit the last time up.
Well, as a DH, he doesn't do anything but hit.
Right.
So I don't know, run on the bases maybe?
No, he did. No, because he hit a changeup out and he was just cruising. It was no big deal. It had to be something in the dugout or something else after that.
Salvador Perez is out for almost 2 months because he slipped picking up his luggage. I guess anything's possible.
Yeah, I guess. Well, he's squaring around like he's going to try and get him over again already.
Is that why you told me not to pick up my luggage?
Absolutely, Andre. Don't want you to get hurt. Tip the belt.
Wow, good pitch, but not called a strike. Ready up.
Now watch, change up. No big deal. He's fine. Now how do you get hurt when you're running that fast? He just goes into the dugout. I don't know. They're celebrating. He looks fine to me. Something else had to happen.
Now he swings. Fly ball routine, left field, Rajay. 1 down.
Well, he wanted to get him over to third base, but couldn't get the job done.
And now Kyle Seager, 0 for 3. Seager on the day has grounded out and flied out twice. Facing Andrew Miller.
So far, it's been the left-handers. They were now 3 for 3 off Andrew Miller. Not that they're hit all that hard.
Oh man, he teed off but fouled it back. He got a hanging breaking ball. His eyes lit up. You know, you go back to that third inning when they had the 4 straight hits, and that was there again. Other than the ball that Gordon hit, was hit pretty well. Everything else was just kind of slapped into a perfect spot.
Well, they just took what was given.
Miller gets ahead 1-2. And he fakes it off into the crowd. Jason Kipnis, he's a good 10 yards out on the outfield grass in shallow right, but Lindor still shading him on the left side of second base, so not a true shift on. Seager now steps out.
And if you're an infielder, you're trying to knock everything down. That's why Kipnis is probably 15 feet or so back on that grass.
Walk on and miss. He struck him out. 2 down. Watch the movement here.
Well, that's just a nasty breaking ball. The shadows are now creeping out over the plate, and you can see it looked like he took a little bit more off, had a lot more movement to it, and gets Seager to swing at it.
They're going to intentionally walk Mitch Haniger.
That makes sense.
And now he'll face Ryan Healy. Haniger homered in the second inning and already has 4 hits in the first 2 games of the series. So they'll try Ryan Healy, who currently 0 for 6, struck out back in the second inning.
Haniger, right, has fewer holes, than I think Healy does. So you're going to take your chances now. You can go any base on the infield.
And outside, ball 1. Well, we've received word from the Mariners that Nelson Cruz suffered a twisted ankle. They didn't say which one, though. Yeah, there had to be some reason why he wasn't batting, though. Well, this turn came up here in the 8th inning. Good pitch by Miller. That slider just grazed the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Two on, two out, 2-2 pitch. Hey, struck him out swinging. Andrew Miller gets the job done here in the 8th inning. Seattle strands a pair. They waste a leadoff double. And Cleveland takes a 1-run lead into the 9th.
Of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
9th inning at Safeco Field in Seattle. The Indians with a grand slam from Yonder Alonso in the first, a 2-run homer from Yan Gomes in the 4th, and now the bullpen trying to close it down for Cleveland. First, the offense with a chance to add to the lead as we go to the top of the 9th. Dan Altavilla pitched 2/3 of a scoreless inning in the season opener. He'll be facing Yan Gomes, Monty Chisenhall, and Francisco Lindor.
10 straight batters have been retired by the bullpen of Seattle.
And 13 of the last 14 since the Jason Kipnis 2-out single in the 4th inning.
Yeah, the Indians with 6 hits on the afternoon and Seattle with 10.
They were really swinging the bats well, and then all of a sudden, ever since Casey Lawrence came in the game, the offense just kind of went to sleep. Give credit where it's due. Guy chucking the baseball has to make a living too. Swung out and missed. Now you think about what the Mariners bullpen did on opening day. The only guy that allowed a run was Nick Vincent. And that was the only run of the game for Cleveland. That's in the dirt. And Yan Gomes faced with a 1-2 count. Boy, he absolutely destroyed that ball back in the 4th inning. Straight away center field.
Yeah, he got it pitched to his liking down a little bit and really got a lot of good wood on the baseball.
Chased one there. 2 swings of the bat producing for the Indians here today. A grand slam by Alonso in the first.
That was in the first inning. This one in the fourth. A couple of fastballs. Right there is all the offense for the
But in
Indians.
both instances, walks kind of set up the scenarios.
Yes,
Two
it did.
walks in the first, loaded the bases, and the leadoff walk to Alonso in that fourth. Now Lonnie Chisenhall 1 for 3 with a base hit. Last year, the Mariners led the majors in winning percentage in one-run games. When you know it, the opener, they win it 2-1, and right back here today, another one-run game. This time, Cleveland with the advantage. Ronnie Cobb following it back. Down and in. 3 balls and a strike. Lonnie with a hard hit ball right at the first baseman heel. And that's out number 2. Looking back at the storylines today, the starting pitchers, both Carrasco and Paxton, averaged better than 10 strikeouts per 9 innings a year ago. And both were victimized by the long ball here today. Both gave up a pair of home runs. Two down for Francisco Lindor. Cano. 3 outs to a save and an Indians win. Cody Allen coming on when we come back. And Miller did a number on the Mariners despite the fact that he had to work out of some trouble.
Well, that's what makes him so dangerous. Segura, after giving up a couple base hits, he gets the strikeout and a great breaking ball there to Seager with men on. And then when it counts, there's that other slider to the right-handers, awfully tough. So 3 strikeouts for Andrew. He did have a walk that was intentional. Gave up 3 hits, but put zeros on the board. He's going to turn it over now to Cody Allen.
69 appearances last year. 2.94 ERA, saved 30 out of 34 on the year. And he's got a pinch hitter to start the bottom of the ninth. It'll be Daniel Vogelbach.
And this guy had the best spring of any Mariner. You know, trying to make this ball club. He hit over 400 at 7 home runs and about 16 RBI. So he was swinging the bat very well for him. So he's going to get a chance up here for his first at bat this year.
And the ball's in the dirt. 1-0. Vogelbach last year, a handful of games. Indians pulled around defensively. There's a strike. Back with Ichiro to follow, and then D. Gordon. Those two. And it's 2-2. In 669 career minor league games, Vogelbach has hit 100 home runs. So the power is certainly there. 17 last year at AAA Tacoma. Last year between AA and AAA he hit 23. The year before, I should say. Now the 2-2. Got him. Cody Allen strikes out Vogelbach, 1 down.
Yeah, it was a good fastball down at the knees and away. After that curveball bounced at his feet, he goes down. Look at this, at the knees, away. That's an excellent pitch. You can't hit that. Can't hit that one there. That was a well-located heater down and away.
Ichiro, already 2 hits here today. And Cody goes right at him with a fastball in the inside corner for strike 1. Oh yeah, breaking ball in the dirt. It's 0-2. He was thinking about that fastball inside.
Right.
Got the bat head going, and you can't stop it.
You see, most of the time, yeah, he was often trying to swing, but once he got it started, that was a curveball that he was already committing to swing at.
Inside out swing. Ramirez steps, throws. Alonso applies the tag for out number 2.
Well done. They're going to want to take a look to make sure he tagged him.
And Seattle is alerting the umpire, Alfonso Marquez, that they want to take a look.
It did look like it came that he came back and was able to put a tag on it, but they want to make absolutely sure. It looked like it got him right on his front hip.
And now Scott Service says, all right, we saw it.
Yeah, there it is, right there, left tip.
No challenge forthcoming.
Now, nice play there by Alonso to come off the bag. You can see that ball is in the tip of that glove, but Ramirez knew he had to get rid of it quickly.
So 2 down. D. Gordon the batter. Bounced it in there. Hope you'll spend part of your Easter with us tomorrow afternoon. Our coverage begins at 3:30 on Sports Time Ohio and streaming on Fox Sports Go. April in the OHIO presented by Menards. Gordon pops one sky high. Left field. Rajay says, I've got it. And the Indians have win number 1 on the year as they even the series at a game apiece, beating the Mariners by a final score of 6-5. Carlos Carrasco went 5 2/3 and gets the win. And Cody Allen with a 1-2-3 ninth will notch his first save. Losing pitcher will be James Paxton, who went 4 2/3 and was charged with 6 runs on the afternoon. Entertaining ball game, lots of offense, some big hits, but in the end, nice job by the Indians bullpen to nail it down.
Yeah, it really was, Matt. They came out, they held on. What happened offensively? They got shut down the last ever since that 4th inning when they got their 6th run. They shut down 5 straight innings. So the pitching had to do it. The bullpen did it. Yeah, it was nice. They scored their 6th. They got the big left-hander, and now this time they hold on for the 1-run win.
The highlight packages will show the grand slam, the big home run, but look a little closer. To me, this game came down to those big key at-bats in that 1st inning. Encarnacion, Rajay Davis working the walks, going deep into the counts, and it set the stage for Alonso, who delivered with the grand slam.
Yeah, it really did. Some really good at-bats, and if you look at this ball game, the game was won basically in the 1st inning of both games. A 2-run homer by Cruz in the game 1, and I think the grand slam by Alonso here in game 2.
We can't wait to come right back tomorrow on your Easter Sunday with the series finale. Until then, for Rick Manning and Andre Knott, I'm Matt Underwood. Stay tuned for Indians Live with Al and Jensen back in the studio. Gentlemen.